Good morning, my beautiful babes and babettes. I am your resident active advocate, and I faked you out yesterday. I had said yesterday that we would be discussing today the advantages of the moral model of disability, but upon closer examination, there are really no benefits whatsoever to this model. So rather than giving you a breakdown of the advantages and the disadvantages, I will instead be giving you a description of the model, and you can understand why I say that there are no advantages to this model at all. So the moral model of disability is among the oldest models that we have, if not the oldest, because it appears in different religions throughout different times and different places. And amongst the oldest examples we have of this can be found in the Bhagavad Gita, where the king Dhritarashtra is born blind, and therefore he is thought to be not suitable for kingship because he has a disability. So his younger brother Pandu inherits the throne instead. The moral model of disability is not necessarily about how your body or mind function. It is about the fact that you are carrying something that is considered a curse, not only upon yourself, but upon your family. It was believed in early Judaism, for example, that if your ancestors had committed a sin, that you as a person with a disability would be seen as the sort of karmic punishment for the family as a whole, because you would be born into that family and then they would be responsible for taking care of you and for bearing your burdens. This is a very pre-scientific model, of course, because it definitely sees disability as something that is caused by outward things that are beyond a person's control, that are beyond anyone's control. And while that is true of birth defects and accidents and things like that, it is not true in the sense that they indicate with this model, in that they believe that sin was the cause of disability rather than defects of any specific kind. This is also where you get the idea of demonic possession in Christianity when it comes to certain disorders like epilepsy or schizophrenia. And that is seen as a very bad thing, of course, because if you are sinful enough to be possessed by a demon, you're going to hell right away. It was also a teaching within Dante, from whom Christians get much of their theology. It's not just from the Bible, that people with intellectual disabilities would automatically go to hell because he believed that they did not have souls. So in Christianity, in Hinduism, in Judaism, disability is seen largely as a bad thing. In Islam, I don't know how deep this teaching goes, but it is said of people with intellectual disabilities specifically, be kind to them, for their soul is with God. Now, I personally think that this is a mixed blessing kind of teaching. On the one hand, it is advocating for people with intellectual disabilities to be cared for and not to be ostracized by their community and to be thrown out or considered possessed, that sort of thing. But on the other hand, it is also not only extraordinarily condescending, but it is also a way of saying that this person is not capable of moral action, therefore this person does not have a soul. The person's soul is already with God. Therefore, the body in question may be considered an empty vessel. So that is where I see a very negative end coming into this teaching. If any of my viewers are Muslim and have heard of this teaching, I would be extraordinarily grateful if you would explain it to me more in depth, because I may be getting the connotation of this extraordinarily wrong, and I'm very willing to learn. So please do let me know if I am misrepresenting this teaching whatsoever. But with the moral model in mind, it also comes down to the present day. where people with disabilities are still very often ostracized, there is much more of a scientific bent to this now. It's like you are inferior because your body or your mind are wrong. But the whole idea of disability equals wrongness, in some sense, does come as a direct descendant of the moral model. Even if science has now been incorporated into the experience of disability, it doesn't mean that the quote moral ramifications of disability have been removed. It's the reason why we are seen very largely as inferiors by our surrounding society. This is the kind of thing that I want to put a stop to, and that's the reason why I'm making this series, so that people can better understand what disability is, and therefore can function with it better in their life, with people in their life who have disabilities. They can understand one another's experiences, they can aid in one another's experiences, and no one has to see themselves or other people as being wrong for existing the way they do. I personally think that that is the true moral aspect of disability, is embracing the person as a whole, not just as a person with a disability, and allowing them to be who they are, what they are, when and where they are. So that is my general description of the moral model. If you have anything to add, because this is such a loaded topic, please leave it down in the comments section below. And I would ask very kindly that you like, share, and subscribe, and share your wisdom with me. Thank you very much, and I will see you tomorrow to actually talk about the advantages of a model. This one is a much better model, in my opinion. It is called the continuum model, and we will get there tomorrow. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye. Mwah.